All right. So we started now this book called Qawa Muhimmah, Crucial Rules. These are 8 rules about blasphemy. If you finish this book, and it's just a small booklet, inshallah, you will understand the rules of blasphemy very well, very clearly. So here's the first rule. I'll remind you, these titles here, I put these here. It's not from the original book. This first rule is about the denial of what is necessarily known in the religion. What is known in the religion by necessity. Darura. That means common knowledge, religious common knowledge. Take the analogy of a traffic light. Green light, I don't know if different countries are using different colors. Green light usually means go. Red light means stop. Anyone knows that. You'd be surprised if you found someone who didn't know it. Is it possible someone doesn't know that? It's possible. But we're talking in religion. Would someone not know there's 5 prayers that are obligatory and that Ramadan is obligatory to fast? It's possible. But what we say is all the Muslims know it. This statement is a correct statement. All the Muslims know there's 5 prayers. All the Muslims know that fasting is obligatory and zakat is obligatory and hajj once in a lifetime is obligatory, etc. So what's the case of someone who denies what all the Muslims know? When we say all the Muslims, it means the scholars and the laymen, the people of knowledge and the ignorant ones. That's what we want to talk about now. The Shaykh says, rahimahullah, anyone who denied what is known in the religion by necessity, ma'lumun min ad-dini bid-darura. Anyone who denied what is known in the religion by necessity by the Muslims, meaning what is obviously known by scholars and commoners. What is obviously known by scholars and commoners sharing in that knowledge, anyone who denies such a thing has blasphemed. Went out of Islam. So if someone says, there's not 5 prayers that are obligatory, there's 3 prayers. What do you say? Say, that's blasphemy. Who says that? Hadith deniers say that. This is the case even if this denier were ignorant that his talk ejects someone out of Islam. Yani, it's not a condition that this one who is denying what he is denying knows that his denial will take him out of Islam. Like for him to say that drinking wine is lawful after knowing its prohibition in the sacred law. After knowing its prohibition in the sacred law. بعدما عرف حرمته في الشرع. Yes. So, we are saying if someone denies something that is common religious knowledge, that's my own simplified word there, but the word the scholars say is this one here. Known in the religion by necessity, you can say it that way. معلوم من الدين بالضرورة. What is obviously known by scholars and commoners. Anyone who denies that has blasphemed. That gave you an example. What if someone says, there's not 5 prayers, there's 3 prayers? Say, that's blasphemy, because he is denying what is known in the religion by necessity. The 5 prayers are known in the religion by necessity. This is the case even if this denier didn't know that his talk ejects someone out of Islam. Even if he didn't know that for him to say what he is saying will take him out of Islam. His not knowing that this will take him out of Islam will not keep him in Islam. Like for him to say that drinking wine is lawful after knowing its prohibition in the sacred law. That part's important. After knowing its prohibition in the sacred law. Not before. Why not before? Because you can't know that that's haram by your mere mind. Your mere mind will not deem wine forbidden or lawful, neither lawful nor forbidden. The mind is neutral about it itself. Now, what gives weight to it being lawful or forbidden? Whatever God revealed. So God revealed that is forbidden. So if you didn't know God revealed that that's forbidden, then if you said it's not forbidden, you wouldn't be contradicting the religion on a personal level from your own perspective, because you didn't know it came in the religion. So then we're not going to call him a kafir, then we're going to teach him. We're going to say to him, don't say that, because that's blasphemy. But since you didn't know, and it never reached you, you never heard before, somehow, then now you know. Don't say that that's lawful. How somehow would be like he's a new Muslim, which is coming. That's what's conceivable. When he's a new Muslim, makes it conceivable that he doesn't know. Or like a new Muslim, we'll see what that means. But those are the exceptions to the case. This is what you need to understand well to understand the rule of blasphemy here. Don't understand. Bismillah. What you should do is understand the basic rule and then apply the exception. The basic rule is such a denial is blasphemy. What's going to make you not understand this rule? When the way you look at it is like this. If a person were a new Muslim or like a new Muslim, he won't commit blasphemy. Not taking the rule for what it is. It is blasphemy. Looking at it like how it's not blasphemy. Look at what is blasphemy here. The actual blasphemy is denying what is known in the religion by necessity. So if you solve that, what do you say? You say that's blasphemy. Even this new Muslim, when he says to you, there's not 5 prayers, or he says, wine is lawful, say to him, that's blasphemy. So if he says, I'm a new Muslim, tell him, then you don't have the judgment of being a blasphemer. Don't say that, because that's blasphemy. You understand? Understand that what is blasphemy? You might wonder too, some people wonder, why talk about blasphemy as much as we do? There's 2 reasons. One is because blasphemy is spread a lot in this time, and the people are ignorant. So they need to learn so that they can avoid the blasphemy. The people are not now like they used to be. They had more knowledge and more understanding. I'm talking about the Muslims. Now the knowledge is less, and the piety is less amongst the Muslims. And 2, because Islam is what is contrary to blasphemy. When we are talking about what's blasphemy, at the same time, we are saying what Islam is. Because what's not blasphemy is Islam, in terms of correct religion. Islam is not blasphemy. What's against Islam was, incompatible in the way, negates. What negates Islam, that's blasphemy. Negates. What negates Islam is blasphemy. What negates blasphemy is Islam. This is the word here. So by that you know your religion. And if some people who are not Muslims heard our explanation of blasphemy, they'll say, wow, that really is blasphemy. This is blasphemy. Saying bad things about God and disrespecting religion books and things like this. Great details. This is correct religion. So even if he didn't know that he blasphemes for saying what he said, for denying what he denied, he would commit blasphemy if he knew what the religion says. When we say here, after knowing its prohibition in the sacred law, that means he at some point knew what he believed that the religion said something. He believed the religion said something. I'm saying new says no here. Even if he said believe, like for example, let's say a person didn't believe that you can have more than one wife, and he didn't know that the religion said you could. So then he denied it. So we're not going to say he committed blasphemy yet. And then he heard from one person that you can. Does this mean he's going to believe him? No. So we're going to call him a kafir now? No, also. Why not? Because still not convinced that's really is the religious rule. So he doesn't know or doesn't believe that that is the religious rule. So still not committing blasphemy. But then he heard from another and another and another until he became convinced. At some point, he said, so this is the religion. Now he believes. So it says knowing here, and I'm saying, or you might say believe. Now he believes or he knows that this is the religious rule. But let's say, even if it were a mistake, he can say he believes. Even if something is a mistake, but he believed that it is the religious rule. He's wrong, but he believed that it is the religious rule and then he denies it. He blasphemes for that because what he wants to do here is contradict the religion. That's what the blasphemy is. Did you understand? Is that clear? Tell me something, please. Any question? Clear for everyone? Anyone it's not clear for him? So now you understand clearly what's the blasphemy in this issue. Denying what is known in the religion by necessity. It's clear, inshallah. Now let's look at who's excused here. We're going to look at who's excused. We're not going to say, though, that what he said is not blasphemy with the meaning that that's the judgment of what he said is blasphemy. But did he get the rule of being a blasphemer? He might have escaped this because of being newly acquainted with Islam or like a new Muslim. Because of being a new Muslim or like a new Muslim. So like a new Muslim must means not a new Muslim. So how he's going to be like a new Muslim? What's meant here is ignorant like a new Muslim. The new Muslim is the one that it is expected that he would not have a lot of information. So it's not far-fetched that he doesn't know many basic things. He needs to hear them. And then there are some people, they're not new Muslims, but they are as ignorant as new Muslims are. So they have the same judgment. When it comes to denying something that's known in the religion by necessity. So the Shaykh says, however, anyone who was newly acquainted with Islam, meaning that he embraced Islam recently, or was otherwise like someone was otherwise, or was otherwise like someone newly acquainted with Islam, like, I'm going to put here such as, because one thing that makes English nicer in your writing is to switch the words. So it says like here, then I didn't want to say like right there too. So I switched it. So, meaning that he embraced Islam recently or was otherwise like someone newly acquainted with Islam, such as to have been raised on some prairie far from the scholars. Prairie means some land somewhere, from somewhere far, far from the scholars, or raised among Muslims, but without repeatedly hearing the judgment of what he is denying. Like he was isolated, never went to the masjid, his family never taught him. Even if he is in the middle of a Muslim society, no one ever taught him. He never went to the masjid. And then, for example, he might not know there's Fajr prayer. Then he would say, there's 4 prayers. You say to him, that's blasphemy, meaning only 4. There are 4 prayers because there's 5 prayers, but that's not what he means. He's denying 5. He's saying 4. You say, that's blasphemy. He says, what? Why is blasphemy? What are you talking about? So you can't deny the 5 prayers. He says, what? Where's the 5th prayer? Which one? You tell him, well, which one do you know? He says, there's noon prayer, there's Dhuhr prayer, Asr prayer, Maghrib prayer, Isha prayer. What? So what about Fajr prayer? It's a Fajr prayer? So he doesn't know. So we're not going to call him a kafir. Indeed, this one does not blaspheme under the condition that he is unaware that the judgment he is denying came in the religion of Islam. Okay, I think this is clear. Now, we just gave an excuse to the new Muslim or someone who's like a new Muslim, but that's not absolute. So there are cases when even a new Muslim is unexcused. He will blaspheme. Yani, in other words, there are cases when there is no excuse for anyone. Anyone will blaspheme. I'm not talking about prepubescent children. And I'm not talking about crazy people. The Shaykh says, also, this matter he denies must not be something like exalting God from comparison. So, who's he? This new Muslim. Or someone like a new Muslim. What he is denying must not be something like exalting God from comparison. Yani, this is too far. He's denying something known in the religion by necessity. He's not blaspheming, but if he is denying that Allah is unlike the creations, he is definitely blaspheming. No amount of time of being a Muslim will stop this from making him commit blasphemy. Or like exalting God from containment and direction and place, or clearing the prophets from treachery and foolishness. Yeah. Yani, when you think about blasphemy, you have some levels. Having wrong conviction about God, definitely blasphemy, no excuse. Having a wrong conviction about any prophet of Allah, a blasphemous conviction, what doesn't befit them, that is, having a conviction about a prophet that doesn't befit him, that negates the status of prophethood, is blasphemy with no excuse. Or believing that a religion other than Islam is valid, this is blasphemy with no excuse. If someone believes that a religion other than Islam is valid, it's like saying blasphemy is valid. Concerning someone who attributes to Allah Ta'ala place. Yeah. Concerning someone who attributes place, direction, or any attributes of the creations to Allah the Exalted, or he attributes major sin, vileness, yani wretchedness, treachery, or foolishness to the prophets, he does indeed blaspheme. Yani someone means anyone. I want to put anyone. Concerning anyone who attributes place, direction, or any attributes of the creations to Allah the Exalted, or he attributes major sin, vileness, treachery, or foolishness to the prophets, he does indeed blaspheme. Anyone. Even if he were newly acquainted with Islam, and even if he made a mistake attempting to arrive at the truth. See how thorough is the Shaykh. Even if he were newly acquainted with Islam, yes, he will blaspheme. Even if he was trying to reach the truth, yes, he will still blaspheme. Yani, trying to reach the truth means, he said, I'm gonna look in the Quran. Inshallah, Allah will guide me. I want to be upon the truth. Let me look in the Quran. And then he opens the Quran, flips through the pages, and he sees in there, Ayn, Wajh, Yad. And he says, it's clear for me that Allah rose over the throne and he has eyes and face and hands. He blasphemed, trying to arrive at the truth. Validating the mentioned deficiencies for Allah would invalidate his faith in Allah. Saying these things, which are really imperfections, place, direction for Allah, validating these imperfections for Allah would invalidate one's faith in Allah. Also, validating the aforementioned flaws about prophets, may peace and blessings be upon them, being vile, committing major sins, and like that, this invalidates someone's faith, anyone's faith, in the Messenger of Allah, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Yani, validating that will invalidate anyone's faith. I'll say someone. It invalidates someone's faith, anyone, yani, in the Messenger of Allah, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Okay. Any question?